it's time to talk. Where to start? So, I mean, in general, the Altus is not my idea of a good time. It's just kind of, it's unpleasant for me to play. These reviews are not going to be probably as useful for general audiences as I had originally intended. You know, I should be talking about all the nuances and everything, but I'm just like, I don't like it. But anyways, the Altus it's difficult to play for me. It's just kind of not a very pure tone. It's a little bit fuzzy. Some of the notes don't really come out. The keys don't feel really very nice to me. Which is interesting because when we had some Azumi flutes, so Altus makes the Azumi flutes, the thing that I really liked about them was their mechanism. They were very nice and springy. So I don't know if it's just this flute, like this individual, or if it's this model. I don't know. I can't tell a huge difference between the two head joint cuts at an initial inspection. I haven't done a really careful analysis of the two of them because I just don't really like the flute in general. So sorry, but I played them. So if you can hear a difference, good for you. So then the other two, and also we also did get a Yamaha 777. I didn't play it here because it has, there's a key malfunctioning. But that being said, I didn't really like it that much. It's not that different in some aspects from the 677, and then in other aspects it's, in my opinion, worse because it's got more of a throaty kind of fuzzy tone. Everything comes down to fuzz for me. It's all fuzz all the time. It's either fuzzy or not fuzzy. But anyways, the other two flutes that I did try in this video are, let's see, there's the Muramatsu GX and there is the Haynes Q3. So I'll start with the Q3. Now I've tried a Q1, a Q2, and a Q3. So I've tried all three of those. I haven't gone up to the Q4. And in general, they're all very similar. Overall, all of the flutes that I have ever tried, you know, like they're older siblings of. So like if I try one model and then I go one step up in the same model range family thing, they all have the same sound, but you know, slightly different characteristics depending on the flute. Like the low octave might be cleaner or nicer in the upper model or the, you know, whatever. But it's not actually always necessarily true that I like the higher level model best. Case in point, the Yamaha 677 I think is nicer than the Yamaha 777. That being said, I'm not actually entirely sure if there's anything else different between the two of those, except that the 777 has solid silver mechanism and the 677 is plated. I don't think there's any other difference between them, so I don't know why there should be a difference between how they sound. So I imagine that most difference that I'm hearing is probably just individual flute difference, which is a little bit concerning that there's such a wide variation. So the Q3 is nice, you know, it's a nice flute. It's a good flute. I don't think that I like the tone as much. It's too fuzzy, and that's the problem that I've had with all of the Q1, 2, and 3 line, is that it's just kind of a little bit more of a fuzzier, warmer tone. For some people, that's probably exactly what you're looking for. For me, I kind of like more of a balance of that pure silvery tone and that sort of throaty thing. The high octave, the third octave in the Q3 is a nice octave, as with most of the Haynes. I think that they have figured out how to make it very playable and sort of good intonation and stuff. Okay, so the Muramatsu GX. Now this is where I was focusing a lot of my time because I had decided from the last set that I was interested in either the Yamaha 677 or the Muramatsu EX. And so I was trying to compare both of those to the GX. So compared to the EX, the GX is, I'd say, a little bit throatier, a little bit fuzzier, just slightly. You know, like the notes don't come out as clearly on the attack as on the EX. Otherwise, they're very similar. They're very similar. The GX might have a little bit more of a robust volume. You know, it might be a little bit louder. Yeah, I mean, I think the main difference is that the tone color is a little bit warmer, at least what I'm able to get out of it. And so for that reason, I decided to rule out the GX, and if I was going to get a Muramatsu, I was going to get the EX, partly because I like the tone better, and partly because it's cheaper. I'm not trying to pay too much attention to the price, but it is like $3,000 more to get the GX, and really most of what you get is, I mean, the GX has a C-sharp trill. That's nice. You can't get that on the EX. So if you're looking for that, you have to go to the GX. You know, the other main difference between the two is that the GX is all solid silver. The body is solid silver, whereas the EX is only silver plate. But I'm still not really willing to say for sure, yes, I like solid silver instruments. I will not buy a silver-plated instrument because the Muramatsu EX is in really tough competition with the Yamaha 677 for me. The EX, the thing that's really, really nice about the EX is the dynamics on the lower end. Excuse you? You can really, really, really pull back and get very, 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 very quiet with great ease and with great tone. You can put just the slightest amount of air into the EX and get a beautiful, beautiful soft tone. It's just gorgeous. On the Yamaha 677, you can still do that. It's a little bit harder. You have to work a little bit harder to do it, and you get a little bit more fuzz in the note. It's not quite as pure. But on the other hand, here I am standing here reviewing flutes from the last video. On the other hand, the Muramatsu EX, while it can get very, very quiet, it can't get as loud when I'm playing it. It's like the dynamic range is here, right? If this is quiet and this is loud, the Muramatsu is here. So this is its quiet and this is its loud. And then the Yamaha 677 is a little bit wider and just a smooch shifted up, just a little bit shifted up. So it's not as easy to get down in the softer ranges as nicely, but it's still pretty good and it's a little bit wider, so you can have more dynamic range. So anyways, but that's the Yamaha and the EX. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the GX, it's a nice flute. It's very nice. If it wasn't for the price, I might consider it more, but I still think that I prefer the EX better. It has more of a pure tone. Both of them are pretty easy to play, but overall, of all of these flutes in these two last trials, the easiest flute to play by far is the Yamaha 677. So yeah, probably I'm going to buy the 677. Stay tuned. The nice thing about that is it's cheaper and it also comes with a C-sharp trill key. So yeah. And interestingly, I'm picking out a silver instrument. I wasn't paying attention to who was made of what, but the decision that I eventually came to was that the Yamaha 677 is a little bit better, just a little bit better than the EX, the Muramatsu EX. And that is the difference between a silver body and a silver plated body. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about this whole material debate. So anyways, I probably did not explain as much as I should have.